Well, December 31st, 2024. Whew. Been a great year, hadn't it? It has been a good year. And I'm looking forward to looking at this text with you today, 1 Samuel chapter 4, verses 19 and 20. Okay, so grab your Bibles, turn there, grab your cup of coffee or your glass of tea or whatever you'd like to drink, and let's take a moment and look through this text. It says in 1 Samuel chapter 4, verses 19 and 20, the following. Now his daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and about to give birth. And when she heard the news that the ark of God had been captured and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed and gave birth. For her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman attending to her said to her, "Do not be afraid, for you have borne a son." But she did not answer or pay attention. All right, the news of Eli and his son's deaths reaches Phinehas' wife, who is on the verge of giving birth. And her immediate response is one of intense grief. You know, the capture of the ark, the loss of her husband, the death of her father-in-law really strike her deeply. And the pain of childbirth is compounded by the emotional agony of the moment, and she gives birth in distress. Her inability to respond to the announcement of her son's birth demonstrates the overwhelming weight of the tragedy that has befallen her. And in the midst of the loss of God's presence, symbolized by the ark, and her family's destruction, her own life is slipping away. The juxtaposition of birth and death in this moment emphasizes the heavy consequences of Israel's sin, which had now reached a point of irreversible judgment. So Phinehas' wife's reaction shows how interconnected the spiritual condition of the nation was with the personal lives of its people. Her grief and her death represent the culmination of the cycle of sin and judgment that has been unfolding for years. The priests' corrupt actions had impacted not only the nation, but also their own families, bringing ruin even to the next generation. And Phinehas' wife's failure to respond to the news of her son's birth illustrates how spiritually desolate she felt in light of what had happened. In her eyes, the future of Israel was now darkened, and she could not see any hope beyond the tragedies that had unfolded. So as we reflect on this tragic moment, we are reminded of the deep impact sin has, not only on ourselves, but on also those around us. Phinehas' wife is a picture of the ripple effect of sin. Just as her grief and death were influenced by the spiritual decay in her family and nation, our own choices affect not only us, but those who we love as well. It reminds us of the importance of living faithfully before God and making choices that reflect His will for our lives. Even when we face difficulties, we can choose to turn to God for strength and hope, recognizing that His presence offers the hope that we need in times of despair. So on this December 31st of 2024, I've just got to ask, how have your choices and your actions impacted the people around you, particularly your family? The story of Phinehas' wife serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of our actions, not just for ourselves, but for those that we love. So today, reflect. Reflect on areas of your life where your decisions may have a lasting impact on others. Are there areas where you need to seek forgiveness and restore relationships or make changes to honor God more fully? Take time to pray and ask God to guide you in living faithfully, knowing that your choices can lead to a blessing or consequences for those who are closest to you. Have a good evening, a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you back here next year. Take care. Bye-bye.